Once you cross the age of 60, something strange starts to happen. You may look the same, feel the same, even act the same. But inside, the systems that once kept you running like a well-oiled machine begin to falter. Not with loud alarms, but with subtle whispers. The biggest mistake men make after 60 is assuming that silence equals safety. That if they feel fine, everything must be fine. But the truth is far more complex and dangerous. In this video, we're not just sharing health tips. We're exposing 6 life-altering facts that every man over 60 must know to protect his future. Because knowledge at this stage of life is no longer just power, it's protection. Stay until the end. Because point number 6 might be the most surprising and the most overlooked by men everywhere. Part 1. Your heart might be whispering before it screams. Let's start with what kills more men over 60 than anything else: heart disease. But here's the twist. It's rarely a surprise attack. Your heart usually warns you, just not in the way you think. Forget what you've seen in movies. Heart issues in men over 60 don't always start with dramatic chest pain. Instead, it might start with feeling winded after climbing a single flight of stairs, losing interest in sex due to subtle erectile dysfunction, a tightness in your jaw or neck that you dismiss as just tension. These are early signs of compromised circulation, and they often appear years before a major event like a heart attack. What's even more shocking, over 50% of first heart attacks are fatal. No second chances. That's why ignoring the signs is like ignoring smoke in your house, because you don't see flames yet. And here's a secret your doctor might not mention unless you ask. A coronary artery calcium scan, or a CAC scan, is one of the most predictive tools we have to detect silent plaque buildup in your arteries. It's quick, painless, and relatively inexpensive. Yet it's not part of most routine exams. In terms of prevention, one of the most powerful and underappreciated interventions is daily low-impact movement. A brisk walk every day can lower your heart disease risk by up to 35%. Combine that with lowering processed food intake, especially sodium and seed oils, and you've got a prescription for heart health far more powerful than most pills. So ask yourself, when's the last time you really listened to your heart? Part 2. Muscle loss is a slow death in disguise. You might think muscle loss is just a vanity issue, something that affects how you look, not how you live. But here's the brutal truth. Muscle is survival. After 60, the average man loses 1% of his muscle mass per year. And after 70, the rate doubles. It's called sarcopenia, and it's not just about looking skinny. It leads to poor balance, slower recovery from illness or surgery, a greater risk of deadly falls, an even weaker immune response. And the worst part? You don't notice it until it's already stolen your strength. One day you'll try to open a jar, get out a deep chair, or lift a suitcase, and realize you can't. But that moment isn't the beginning. It's the consequence of years of unnoticed decline. Here's a fact that should alarm you. Men over 60 who maintain strong leg muscles are less likely to die in the next 10 years, not just from falls, but from all causes. Why? Because leg strength is directly linked to cardiovascular health, hormonal balance, and even brain function. So what can you do? Start with progressive resistance training. Even bodyweight exercises like squats and push-ups. Add some resistance bands or light dumbbells. Train consistently, not intensely. Then comes nutrition. Most men over 60 eat like they're still 40. But your body now requires more protein to maintain what it once built effortlessly. The minimum? About 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kg of body weight per day, ideally spread across 3 meals, not just at dinner. And don't overlook recovery. Sleep is when muscles rebuild. If you're cutting your sleep short, you're sabotaging your strength. Remember, aging isn't what makes you weak. Inactivity does. Part 3. The prostate problem no one talks about until it's too late. Let me tell you about Michael. Michael was 64, a retired firefighter, proud father of 2, and a man who hated hospitals. For years, he'd wake up 3, sometimes 4 times a night to pee. At first, he laughed it off. Getting old, he'd say with a smile. Then the stream started slowing. Sometimes he had to wait nearly a minute before anything came out. He started planning his outings around where he could find a bathroom. But still, he didn't see a doctor. When he finally did, it wasn't for his prostate. It was for lower back pain. The scan showed something else. Advanced prostate cancer. It had spread to his spine. He was shocked. How could this be? He asked. I just thought it was part of aging. But here's the truth. So many men think the same way. In fact, more than 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. And the risk increases dramatically after 60. Science you need to know. Prostate cancer is tricky because it doesn't always cause symptoms in the early stages. According to the American Cancer Society, early-stage prostate cancer has a nearly 100% 5-year survival rate if caught early. But once it spreads to distant parts of the body, like the bones, the survival rate drops to just 30%. That's why screening matters. The PSA, prostate-specific antigen, test is the most common early detection tool. While not perfect, it can detect elevated protein levels in the blood that might indicate cancer. Combine that with a digital rectal exam, and you improve detection even more. But men avoid these tests. Why? Because of fear, because of shame, because of the belief that what I don't know won't hurt me. But here's the emotional reality. What you don't know can destroy you and the people who love you. The emotional cost of waiting. We often talk about the physical risks, but what about the emotional toll? There's Peter, 67, who delayed seeing a urologist for 5 years because of embarrassment. When he was finally diagnosed, the tumor was operable, but the damage had caused permanent incontinence. Now, Peter wears adult diapers. He told us, I wish I had just gotten the test. I was scared of one awkward moment. Now I live with this every day. Stories like Peter's and Michael's aren't rare. They're common, and they're preventable. And this is why every man over 60 must stop seeing prostate health as taboo. You brush your teeth. You check your blood pressure. Your prostate deserves the same attention. It's not just about urination or cancer. It's about your freedom, dignity, and longevity. What you can do right now. So, what can you do today, right now, to take control? 1. Schedule a PSA blood test, even if you feel fine, especially if you have a father or brother who's had prostate cancer. 2. Start eating for your prostate. Lycopene-rich foods like tomatoes, watermelon, and red grapefruit help reduce oxidative stress. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and kale may slow abnormal cell growth. Add zinc from pumpkin seeds, seafood, and selenium from Brazil nuts to support prostate tissue. 3. Avoid excess dairy, alcohol, and processed meat. They're linked to higher prostate cancer risk in several large-scale studies. 4. Move. Regular physical activity. Even walking 30 minutes a day reduces the risk of BPH and prostate cancer. Final word on this topic. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness and ownership. Your health at 60 plus is like managing a classic car. Ignore the warning lights, and one day the engine fails. But check the fluids, tighten the bolts, and listen to the hum, and it'll run strong for years. Don't let silence be your enemy. Listen to your body. Talk to your doctor. And don't let embarrassment steal your future. Part 4. Extension. Daily mental habits that rebuild your brain after 60. You don't need to become a monk or a scientist to keep your mind sharp. You just need a daily rhythm, one that puts your brain first every single day. Let me walk you through what a cognitive power routine looks like for men over 60, one that's actually doable, even if you're tired, busy, or not used to routines. Morning, clear mind, clean start. 7 a.m. Wake up and drink a large glass of lukewarm water with lemon and a pinch of sea salt. This helps rehydrate your brain, which is 75% water and shrinks during dehydration. 7:30 a.m. 10 minutes of mindful breathing or light meditation. Sit near a window. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Studies from Harvard show this increases gray matter in regions responsible for attention and memory. 8 a.m. breakfast for brain. 2 boiled eggs or a protein smoothie with plant protein. A handful of blueberries or a small bowl of steel-cut oats. A spoon of flax seeds or chia for omega-3s. Black coffee or green tea, rich in antioxidants and known to improve alertness. 8:30 a.m. A quick journal entry. 3 things you're grateful for plus 1 thing you want to learn or explore today. This wires your brain for positivity and curiosity, both protective factors against cognitive decline. Midday, feed, move, learn. 10:30 a.m. 20 to 30 minutes brisk walk, ideally outdoors. Even better if it's a route with nature or varied terrain. Walking increases hippocampal volume, the exact region most affected by Alzheimer's. On the walk, listen to a podcast, audiobook, or new genre of music. Novelty sparks neural growth. 12:30 p.m. Lunch should be simple and clean. A grilled fish or legumes for omega-3 in protein. Leafy greens with olive oil. A slice of avocado. Water with electrolytes, low sodium, high potassium. Supplements to consider. Consult your doctor first. 1. Lion's mane mushroom extract. Proven in animal and some human studies to stimulate nerve growth factor and brain repair. 2. Magnesium L-threonate. Crosses the blood-brain barrier and improves synaptic density. 3. Vitamin D3 plus K2 supports cognition and reduces inflammation. 4. B-complex, especially B12 and folate, both critical for brain energy. 5. Curcumin with black pepper. Reduces brain inflammation and may slow amyloid plaque buildup. Evening. Rewire before you rest. 6 p.m. Play a brain game for 15 minutes. Sudoku, chess, memory training apps like Peak or Lumosity. Or even better, learn something new, a musical instrument, a new recipe, a piece of history. Call someone. Social interaction, even brief, improves language fluency and boosts dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. 9:30 p.m. Get ready for bed without screens. Instead, try listening to soft music, reading a physical book, gentle stretches, drinking a cup of chamomile or lemon balm tea. Sleep in total darkness at a cool temperature, 17 to 19 degrees Celsius, ideally after a hot shower. This helps signal the body to cool down and enter deep sleep faster. Real voices, men who fought back against mental fog. Armand, 72, former mechanic from Lyon, says, "After retirement, I felt my brain slowing down, like everything was taking longer. My grandson told me to try chess. I laughed at first. Now I beat him twice a week. I feel alive again." Samuel, 65, accountant from Boston, shared, "I thought I had early Alzheimer's. Turns out it was sleep apnea and high sugar levels. Since fixing both, I've got energy I didn't even have at 55. The message behind all this: you're not too old, your brain is not too far gone, and your identity is not something you have to watch fade like a photograph in the sun. The difference between decline and clarity often comes down to small, repeated choices. So the question is, what will you choose to do tomorrow morning?" Part 5. The hidden hormone crisis, low testosterone after 60, and how it's silently stealing your life. He didn't feel like himself anymore. He wasn't sick, but something was off. He had no energy. His drive was gone, not just sexually, but in life. His muscles were softer, his mood darker, and his sleep shallow. He snapped at his wife more often, but felt no reason why. That man was Carlos, 66 years old, and what he was experiencing was something millions of men go through silently. Low testosterone, a hormonal decline that affects your energy, strength, emotion, and identity. Yet most never talk about it. What happens to testosterone after 60? From the age of 30, testosterone levels decline at about 1% per year. By the time a man reaches 60, his total testosterone may have dropped by 30 to 40%, and free testosterone, the active form, even more dramatically. Why does that matter? Because testosterone isn't just about libido or masculinity. It's a master hormone. It affects muscle mass and strength, bone density, fat distribution, especially belly fat, motivation and confidence, cognitive function, mood regulation, and resilience, sleep quality. And yet, because symptoms develop slowly, many men don't notice they've changed until it starts affecting their relationships, self-esteem, and purpose. I thought I was just tired. Jean-Pierre, a 70-year-old former professor, told his doctor, I thought this was just aging, but I used to wake up with ideas, plans, purpose. Now I just drift through the day. His blood work revealed low testosterone and elevated estrogen, a hormonal imbalance that was draining his energy and mood. What helped him wasn't a pill. It was a complete lifestyle reset. The signs of low testosterone most men miss: constant fatigue, even after 8 hours of sleep, loss of muscle, especially around the arms and thighs, increased belly fat despite no change in diet, low libido or difficulty maintaining an erection, mood swings, irritability, or flat emotional responses, brain fog and lack of concentration, poor recovery after exercise or stress, feeling like you've lost your edge. If you're feeling less like yourself, it may not be psychological, it might be hormonal. How to check and reclaim your testosterone. Step 1, get tested. Ask for a full male hormone panel, not just total testosterone. You want total testosterone, free testosterone, SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin, estradiol E2, DA, LH, and FSH, to check if the issue is testicular or pituitary. Step 2, know your numbers. Total T below 300 ing/DL is considered low. Free T should be above 8 to 10 ing/DL for vitality. High SHBG equals less available testosterone. High estrogen equals poor testosterone conversion. Natural boosters before you consider TRT. Not all men need testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, and it's not the only solution. In fact, for many, natural lifestyle upgrades can restore hormonal balance. 1. Lift heavy with intention. Compound movements like squats, deadlifts, push-ups, and rows trigger testosterone production. Even 2 to 3 sessions per week can raise levels significantly. 2. Eat more testosterone-friendly foods. Zinc, oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds. Magnesium, spinach, almonds, dark chocolate. Healthy fats, eggs, olive oil, avocado, fatty fish. Avoid soy, seed oils, and processed carbs. 3. Sunlight and sleep. 20 minutes of morning sun equals higher vitamin D, more testosterone. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of deep, consistent sleep. Studies show 1 week of poor sleep can reduce testosterone by 15% or more. 4. Reduce stress and cortisol. Chronic stress increases cortisol, which directly suppresses testosterone. Meditation, walking, and unplugging from screens at night all help. When TRT is the right choice. For some men, lifestyle is enough, and that's okay. TRT can be life-changing if monitored correctly. What to know? Use bioidentical testosterone, cream, gel, or injection depending on your profile. Monitor blood every 3 to 6 months. Ensure estrogen stays in check. TRT is not a shortcut, it's a tool. Carlos, our earlier example, started with natural changes, but when his levels remained low, he began TRT under supervision. It gave me back my clarity, my drive, and my presence. My wife noticed a difference before I did. Final word, low testosterone is not about masculinity. It's about vitality. It's about feeling engaged in life again, excited to wake up, confident in your decisions, energized to connect with people, and motivated to move your body. Don't let declining hormones steal the second half of your life. Because guess what? You're not past your prime. Your prime is just changing, and it's yours to reclaim. Part 6. The truth no one tells you. Loneliness, purpose, and emotional strength after 60. He had a good pension, a decent house, 2 grown children with jobs of their own, no major health problems. But every morning Alan, 73, sat at his kitchen table in total silence, staring at the same bowl of cereal, the same chair, the same 4 walls. And he asked himself, why do I still feel so empty? This, more than cholesterol, testosterone, or vitamins, is a crisis no blood test detects. The silent erosion of purpose, of connection, of emotional resilience. The loneliness epidemic among men over 60. According to the Harvard Study of Adult Development, the longest-running study on happiness, the strongest predictor of lifelong health isn't wealth, exercise, or even diet. It's relationships. Yet, over 40% of men over 60 report feeling deeply lonely, and many have no one they can confide in emotionally. Not their spouse, not their children, not their friends. Why? Because for decades, men have been taught to be silent warriors, to be strong, to carry the weight alone. But silence becomes isolation, and isolation becomes illness. Loneliness isn't just emotional, it's biological. It raises stress hormones, weakens the immune system, and increases the risk of heart disease, depression, dementia, early death by up to 26%, according to a study from Brigham Young University. I had everything except joy. Lucian, 69, spent his life building a business. After retiring, he imagined he'd relax, travel, enjoy the fruits of his labor. But after 6 months, he was anxious, bored, restless. He said, I built my life like a house, but forgot to decorate the inside. No hobbies, no community, no soul. Purpose doesn't retire, it evolves. Purpose isn't something you earn at work. It's not about status or success. Purpose is about service, connection, and contribution at any age. You don't need to change the world, but you must still feel useful in it. Whether it's mentoring a young person, joining a community group, growing a garden, writing a memoir, teaching what you know, or simply calling someone every morning to say, I'm here. What you give others gives you back your life. Emotional strength is a skill, not a trait. Most men are never taught how to feel. They know how to solve problems, fix engines, pay bills, but not how to sit with sadness, not how to express fear or ask for help. And yet, emotional strength is what separates a man who survives aging from one who grows through it. Here's the truth. Crying doesn't make you weak. Needing others doesn't make you broken. Vulnerability isn't the opposite of masculinity. It's the foundation of it. 5 keys to reclaiming purpose and emotional strength after 60. 1. Rebuild your social circle intentionally. Don't wait for others. Initiate. Invite someone to coffee. Join a book club, a chess group, a volunteer team. Most men are waiting for someone else to make the first move. 2. Talk to other men, honestly. Find a men's circle, a therapy group, or even a close friend to be real with. When men share, they heal together. 3. Create more than you consume. Whether it's woodworking, painting, gardening, or writing, creation gives you identity beyond consumption. It keeps the mind and spirit alive. 4. Serve someone. You don't need a title to mentor someone. There's a teenager who needs your wisdom, a neighbor who needs your kindness, a cause that needs your time. 5. Forgive yourself for the past. You've made mistakes, hurt people, lost time. We all have, but you are not your regrets. You are what you choose to do today. Closing. You're still needed more than you know. Let this be your reminder. You are not too old to be loved. You are not too broken to be healed. You are not done growing until your last breath. There is someone out there who is waiting for you to share your story, to teach what you've learned, to simply show up. Maybe it's your grandson. Maybe it's your community. Maybe it's you. But one thing is certain. Your life still matters. Your presence still counts. And your heart, even if it's been silent for years, still has so much left to give.
If this message touched you, inspired you, or simply made you think, then please consider supporting this channel. Like lets us know this content matters. Comment gives you a voice in the conversation. And a subscription that ensures you never miss a message meant just for you. We're building more than an audience here. We're building a community of strength, wisdom, and purpose. Thank you for being a part of it. I'll see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay grounded, and never forget, the most important pillar in your life is you.